Hi guys, the Tories are smelling blood, or at least they think they are. So the Conservatives are demanding that the government say sorry to all the pensioners who had missed out on support between the time the Labour government planned its changes to the winter fuel allowance and the semi-U-turn this week. Now, it's okay for journalists or even political commentators to ask politicians to say sorry. It isn't really a good look if one political party asks another to, especially if the former has been in power for 14 years, which made so many people's existence during that time a living hell. Here, Shadow Work and Pension Secretary Helen Whately was asked if she would say sorry for just one of the Tory disasters, and well, she couldn't.
Sorry. In recent days, your own Shadow Chancellor, your own Shadow Home Secretary could not bring themselves to say sorry for Liz Truss. Maybe you could do it.
So they have said, my colleagues have said, we have said, no, we reckon that we got things wrong as a government.
I know. And why is it so hard to say the actual word, though? You want Labour to say sorry. You won't.
So on this, it's always like it's chasing the moment, it's chasing the gotcha, it's chasing whatever that thing you're looking.
Sorry, chasing a gotcha? How is it a gotcha? You keep saying that the mini budget, Liz Truss's mini budget, was a mistake. You say it was wrong. You say we got things wrong. We made mistakes. And when you're asked, well, are you going to apologise for that mistake? You describe it as a gotcha. But you have been demanding that the Labour government apologise to the British people on a number of occasions. And I can guarantee at the next PMQs, Kemi Badenoch, unless something else happens between now and then, Kemi Badenoch will be demanding that the Prime Minister apologise to the British people for the U-turn on the winter fuel allowance. Or why they didn't U-turn before. She will be demanding an apology, I can guarantee it, unless something changes. So the Tories are saying, we want the Labour government to apologise, and then when we're asked, should we apologise? Well, that's a gotcha. It's pathetic.
But what I think is very specific with the winter fuel payment situation is that there were thousands of pensioners who went without that winter fuel payment over the winter. As Martin was just saying,
thousands of people whose mortgages went up.
700,000 pensioners who were eligible.
She's not even listening. It was raised here by Victoria Derbyshire. Yeah, but what about all the people whose mortgages went up as a result of Liz Truss's mini budget? And she's not even listening. No, I want to talk about my talking point. My talking point is the winter fuel allowance. But is she going to apologise for the rising waiting list on the NHS when the Tories were in charge? Record levels. No, she's not going to apologise. She might say there were some mistakes made, but she will not apologise. Is she going to apologise for the 300,000 people whose lives were lost as a result of austerity? Probably not, because she doesn't care about these people, but also, well, we're not in the business of apologising. We want other people to apologise, but we do not apologise. See, but let's continue.
Eligible for pension credit, who are on incomes as low as £11,000, and still we're not getting that winter fuel payment. So actually, I mean, to me, there's a very human cost of what happened last winter, and there's a very human cost connected to people's mortgages rising. There's a very human cost connected to the NHS waiting list. There's a very human cost connected to austerity and the consequences of austerity. Is she going to apologise for that? Of course she's not. That's the sort of thing that requires an apology. But as I said, the other thing is, let's be straight with the public. I think your colleagues should be straight with the public and say, we've done this because we got it wrong, but also don't pretend that the economic situation is all rosy. Actually, the reality is that growth has been revised down, that inflation is up, unemployment is up, the government's cost of borrowing is going up. So much going in the wrong direction.
Okay,
and also, Rachel Reeves has made a £1.25 billion pound hole in her finances now.
Okay, look, this is my advice to the Conservative Party. Obviously, they're not going to listen to someone like me, but my advice to them would be to say sorry. To say sorry and mean it. We're sorry about Liz Truss. We were wrong to back Liz Truss. We apologise. It was a mistake. Liz Truss should have been kicked out of the party as soon as she implemented her mini budget, as soon as she pronounced it. We're sorry about all the people that were killed as a result of austerity. We're sorry about the NHS waiting list. We're sorry about cutting public services to the bone. We're sorry about the corruption connected with PPE contracts during the pandemic. We're sorry about putting people in charge like Boris Johnson and Liz Truss who are completely incompetent. We're sorry about having a leader like Kemi Badenoch. These are some of the things that the Conservatives could say sorry about. Of course they won't, but if they did, they could start to rebuild their party. But instead, they want to stick their head in the sand and they want to demand apologies from other people. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.